Amina, are you coming?
Yeah.
I'm with the boss.
Yo, man, where'd you get the haircut
Yay.
from?
No?
I got it 2 days ago
Nice, looks good.
from Custom Cuts.
Mansuri, shall we start or
वलीद तुम्हारी शक्ल किधर है?
Is this everybody?
2 minutes now? All we have is 20,
नहीं, ये सोलह।
Waleed, और
37 minutes now.
Okay, we can start.
नहीं।
All we have is 40 minutes. So 3 minutes are gone.
तो ज्यादा वो कहाँ है भाई? चेयरपर्सन किधर है पाकिस्तान का?
Pakistan ka chairperson.
एक chapter बैठा है. भाई
हाँ?
one of the
पूरा
bosses
चैप्टर बैठा है, एक पूरा चैप्टर बैठा हुआ
No, it's not a problem. If you have to extend it, we can extend it.
Okay.
ठीक है, कोई problem नहीं है उसमें.
Wait a few more minutes.
Like, I don't think it's going to take 40 minutes. Okay, chalo, let's go then.
मामू तुसी connected नहीं हो? मामू is not connected as yet.
Okay, okay. We'll wait a few
Yes,
more
Mamu
minutes.
is.
Oh, Waleed आ गया.
Oh, Waleed aa gaya.
मुझे तो वलीद की
Waleed
बात पहले
needs
से
to-
हो रही थी.
Waleed-
Screen साफ करो.
Waleed needs to clean his camera.
साफ करो.
Waleed, the
Waleed, your
camera
camera
is
is very dirty.
very dirty.
देखा बच्चू, तुम मेरी पहचानते हो आवाज की नहीं, मैं तो दूर से पहचानती वलीद को। नाम लिखा हुआ है।
Waleed, your camera is very
तो
dirty.
तुम्हारे सामने नाम यहाँ लिखा हुआ है, मैं तो दूर से बोल रही थी। मैं तो अपने घर में थी ना, तो तब मेरे पास नाम नहीं था।
नसीम जरा माल्टा फेंको इधर.
ठीक है, उधर तो
कैच कर लिया.
ठीक है।
You don't have
What is the Zoom now? See now?
Zoom download it.
Upload कितना है Zoom? Go to Zoom है.
Assalamu alaikum. Oh, Pakistan is online. Canada is online. America is online.
We're all online.
Americans online. Most of them.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody.
Okay, I think everybody wants to get started.
नानू अभी connected नहीं है।
Acha, jo bhi hai, I'm not a presenter, so I need to get that control.
Hang on, let me, how do I do that?
I got one more member of my family here. This guy.
मिल गई दवाई।
Otherwise, she'll be under my.
This is Misha.
Okay.
Hi, Misha.
मैं किधर हूँ? क्या girl?
Please come up here.
अस्सलामुअलैकुम, हैदर नजर आ रहा है।
Come in, come here, baby.
क्या हाल है?
Mansoor,
Yeah,
I made you the host, so you should have control now.
चलो.
awesome.
Jagol,
Okay,
assalamu
great.
alaikum.
वालेकुम अस्सलाम.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम.
अस्सलामुअलैकुम, पहले मैं देखूं। हैदर, अस्सलाम वालेकुम। अच्छा, ये तो यही के हैं बात।
Okay, Ji. I think we should get started in the interest of time.
अमेरिका बैठा हुआ है।
बॉस बोल देना इसके बाद।
नहीं मैंने कर लिया.
अच्छा, that's it.
भाई कहानी शुरू ही नहीं हुई. कहानी से पहले उसे खत्म करती.
आप यहाँ झांक सकते हो मेरे सामने आके।
Acha.
चलो तुम करो, मैं वॉशरूम जाऊँ।
Are you expecting more people?
Am I expecting more people? No, I'm not.
देखेंगे इधर और वो इसको।
लोगों
I don't know.
नहीं, ये तो बहुत इधर है। कोई जरूरी नहीं है।
मतलब जरूरी है.
मंसूर को देखें क्या?
Okay, Ji. Let's start. I want to make sure. Okay. Everybody can see my screen.
Yes.
Which screen? What does it say?
QIF Qureshi International.
Okay, so we're seeing the right screen.
10:30 in the
We're
morning.
not seeing me on the screen, right? Okay, good. Okay, so welcome. We're gonna talk about the Qureshi Trust website. For this presentation, it's gonna be a very quick one. We're gonna interchangeably use Qureshi Trust and QIF and whatever you want to call it now. So the website has been around for a while. It's been up for several years, but I don't think anybody noticed. But I'm happy that people are noticing now. So I'll take you through a couple of things. I'll take you through what it has and what you can do. So let's begin with what the Qureshi International Fund website hosts. So we have a few types of content, and I'll go through each one and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay? So the first category of content is news and events. ठीक है, क्या हो रहा है Qureshi Trust में? right? Qureshi International Fund में, or all its affiliates. So usme, when you go into the Qureshi Trust website, Qureshi International Fund website, you'll see a main landing page. Okay, main landing page, but you'll already see this news and events section. You'll have a small sample of it. Jahan par aapko nazar aayega, you can see that there's a title, there's a brief description, you have the option of reading more. Very quickly, you can get up to speed with what's happening in the organization and what we're up to. So going into news and events category, it's an unpacking of that initial view. Isme aap dekhein to you have same thing, title, author, date, and a categorization. Isme you can go into things, right? And you can browse it as far back as you want. So ye hamara news and events area hai, where we kind of catalog what is happening in the website. For example, if you open it up, you can see like what's written and who wrote it and what it's about. You can browse back and forth through the news and events area. Ispe comments ho sakti hain, and we used to have them, but because of spam and all that kind of stuff, it requires more administration. So maine usko turn off kar diya for the moment. If you want, I can turn it back on. So that is news and events. So moving on, the second type of content is our document repository. In our documents, we have a few kinds of documents. We have articles, we have minutes of meeting. I hear there is some concern about minutes of meeting, whether they should be public or not. But either way, we will get into something else later on called QIF rules. And I can tell you how we can protect these documents from public access if we need to. And then finally, the Qureshi International Fund Charter, which used to be formerly known as the Qureshi Trust Charter. So the documents, you can see they're broken down here. So you can go into all articles, the North American chapter stuff and the Pakistan chapter stuff. Our charter is here, right? And you can go into this detail. Everything on this website is fundamentally positioned and based on this charter. So we had to go through it in detail to make the website. And I'll show you how that becomes relevant later. And everybody should take a read on this. It's updated regularly. Okay? So moving on to the next type of documents, which are around what we do, how we help, what are our contributions as an organization to our community. So in our projects, we have categorizations, again, based on the charter. And our categorizations are obviously education, social welfare, health services, you know, all our literary endeavors and our cultural and political stuff that we are engaged in. We have also created a search engine that allows us to navigate our projects completely freely. And I'll show you what that looks like. But first, here is all the categorization of our projects. So when you go to our projects pane, you can see that you have educational forum, you have social welfare. Let's just take a quick look. So when you go into it, yes?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Just check to see if there's anybody else who needs to be let into the meeting.
Oh, there's a couple people waiting.
Yeah.
I guess I am the person allowing them in now. Let me see.
At the top.
Where are they?
At the top.
At the top. Okay. Admit and admit. Oh, Saidnam was joining. Okay, we'll give it a minute for them to come in. So, Assalamu alaikum for everybody new. Welcome. We're going through what is happening with our Qureshi Trust website, going through it. So, Abhi hum projects mein hai, we're at projects and we're going through social welfare. The social welfare, you'll see that the list of projects are here and their main ownership is represented. Once you go through them, right, you can dive into it and this will house all okay, this will house all the information about the project, how it's going. Somebody needs to... Okay, so it will house all the information about the project.
Mute yourself.
Somebody is in the room. Abu.
Mute yourself. Yeah, mute everybody. You can do it.
All right, I muted him. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so all the project details are here. You can host them, you can update them. This is a home base for that project. Okay, this is obviously public domain information. Okay, so going back into projects, so this is an idea of what can be done. Uske alawa, we have built this tool where you can go in and very quickly take a look at what's happening. So for example, if I want to see, because Saidam was just joined in, what Saidam was working on, right? All these projects Saidam was working on. I want to see stuff that we're doing around hospitals. I want to see stuff that Yan was doing, right? It's very quick. If I wanted to see, stuff that we're doing around pumps or wells, right? So very quickly, you can take a look and navigate our body of work. As you can see, if you see something that is interesting, right? Like these food drives, right? Or actually the latest one, I think, I don't remember which one the latest one is, but either way, you can go to the category and look up this project. Okay, and it'll take you there. Or Jabba projects mehan, you'll have these breadcrumbs on top, so you can navigate through there as well. Okay, that concludes the main chunk, the main content that should be keeping everybody interested because everybody wants to see how we're performing. Acha. So moving on, I'll open up the questions very soon. So who we are. Okay, how do you get in touch with us? What is the interaction with QIF look like? Ismay, we have two tabs, About Us. And in About Us, we have details about the current body of QIF, right? Who's our board, who are advisors, the office bearers currently. So we have a coordination office, we have a North American chapter, we have Asia chapter. So you can go into it and take a look at certain details. Okay? Contact Us is going to be our main way for people, particularly applicants, to interact with us. So we have a growing section about how we can get involved. But more importantly, if you have certain things, like we are housing applications on this right now. So if you are interested in scholarship, and we're going to add a lot more stuff based on our capabilities, you can fill out your scholarship applications over here and it will actually come to us and we will review it. Together, we're going to have all these inputs going in through Contact Us. We're going to have a ton of applications and a ton of things. Our needs are growing because our organization is starting to produce results. And as such, we are requiring more expertise out there to better brand ourselves and also to help increase awareness of what we do and get funding. So right now, if you go to Contact Us, you can see in our careers that we are looking for some people to help us with social media and help us promote ourselves, be the voice for QIF. And then some upcoming roles that we are currently structuring for that will help us, again, promote the organization as such. Okay, so moving on to what we discuss. Every organization needs to discuss things. And currently, our medium of discussion is limited to WhatsApp. That doesn't have to be necessarily true. We can have public and private discussions in forums. And we've created two categories of these forums for now, right? There's a general discussion forum that platforms our operations, process, and conventions. And then we have our suggestions forum that platforms upcoming projects, policies, proposals, and suggestions. And that is listed here. This is going to directly tie into the next phase of this presentation. And I will go into like how we're managing security and all that kind of stuff around here. So over here, you can see that I posted something 4 years ago, right? But a week ago, Papa posted something, right? And he said something about how we can propagate news about our organization so we can get different partnerships and work with others to promote our causes, right? And then I just responded to him, you can do all kinds of things here. You can subscribe to these, you can make them favorites. So when you have something that's growing in this thread, it can get emailed to you. Some things you're going to care about, some things you're not. So we took that into consideration when we were doing this, and we created these platforms where we can have robust discussions about what the happenings are within Karachi Trust. Take care. And coming into conclusion, finally, donations, right? Donations are how we fuel the organization. Obviously, we have historically been doing through membership and family fundraising, right? So right now we should grow that because our organizational delivery capability and our history of performance has enough weight where we can start going and talking to people. So what we've done is on the website, we provided an ability to process payments via PayPal, and we can take any form of payment on this website. We can also send out invoices, bills, and all that kind of stuff. So the idea is that we have the ability to intake money off of various online avenues. So what does that look like? Now, there's two kinds of donations that we've set up. One is obviously more valuable than the other. We have a recurring donation, which is a subscription. So you can donate something a month, right? And that goes into our recurring revenue, which is a reliable way for us to operate. And then you have the single one-time donation. Somebody wants to just donate one time, $100, $50, whatever they want, they can donate that. And we can take these funds and they will go into our Qureshi Trust QIF bank account, which I'm still waiting so I can connect it. So once the funding goes to the organization, right, that money is strictly belongs to that organization. And then organizational initiatives can determine how we spend it. Okay? But the intake will be here and the catalog will be there. And at a later time, we can create a system where we can do a lot of stuff with the money side of it, right? So that concludes the website presentation. Now, what can we do on here, right? Let's talk about that. So in terms of what you can do on the Qureshi Trust website is directly dependent on what kind of role you want to perform, right? So we have a variety of roles that we have democratized that you can use. It's up to you what you feel comfortable with, how much you want to participate. So you can be an editor, right? We can edit and make sure that the quality of the work out there is good. You can be an author and write content. You can be a contributor where you can add value to others' contributions as an author. You can be a key master where you're regulating form level activity, making sure things are good. You can be a moderator where you're making sure that the hygiene of the website is maintained and a certain decorum is maintained, or you can just be a participant. Either way, as these people, you can do certain things. And there's a lot more to the website because I've been building it for years. But for the moment, the 4 things that should be of interest to you is adding a post, and I'll show you that's got a lot of weight in it in terms of like what you can do with posts, adding an article if you're an author, commenting obviously, and discussing stuff in forums. So this is what you can do, and this is what I'm going to take you through right now very quickly in terms of how you do it. So let's take a look. In order to do any of it, you have to log in as a member. So when you log in as a member, you have to be approved as a member. I will shortly put in an application form where you can join the website. Obviously, anybody who is a member will have access to this if they request it. We are going to be putting in some forms to administer this better. Once you log in, you can see that I'm an admin, so obviously I'm going to see a lot more stuff. Let's not get distracted by that. You'll see this panel on top. Can everybody see the black panel on top? It's small, so it probably is not very prominent. But up on top, you can see the part that is going to be relevant to you is this new. Sabko Nazare, new?
Yes.
Okay. Let's start with the first thing we talked about, which is a new post. The template of how things are done, it's all the same. So you learn one, you're going to know it all. Okay? All of these content blocks, they have a title and what you want to write. Okay? That's unremarkable. I think that's also evident. Categories, this is what I want you to take a look at. categories will determine कि ये content कहाँ जाएगा website पे, ठीक है? You can have articles, you can categorize it as an event, you can categorize it as news and events, you can categorize it as minutes of meeting, whatever you like. You can also categorize it as multiple things and then make something primary. So again, mainly this is this, but this can also be that. So this is something I just want you to focus on because everything else is pretty obvious. So अगर आपको कोई news event है, मसलन big news, right? And you say, this is the news. I am typing without looking and it's not working out too well. Okay, this is the news. So this is sufficient for you to make a post. Now, when you post this, publish this, it will show up in that news section. If you're nice and you're detailed, you can go ahead and add a featured image. Okay? The featured image is something you can upload from your computer or use an image that is already within our library. Okay? So I can pick this, set a featured image. Now this post is really complete. Okay? So you can publish this, it's published as a news and event. So this should show up on our home page. So this is as complicated as it is. You put what you want to say, you put a category to it as to where you want to go. And if you want to beautify it, you can add an image. So here it is, big news. It showed up on our page. It's instant. Now, depending on your role, sometimes it will require approval because obviously we don't want just any nonsense showing up here, right? It needs to be QIF related material. So in that case, a moderator or a key master will take a look at your content, make sure that it is satisfactory to represent QIF values and culture, and then present it out to the world. Okay? So that's how you do a post. That's also how you do an article. That's how you do a lot of things. The second thing is for authors. If you're an author, you can go to a page. Exact same
Obed
content.
wants to be in. Let Obed in, please.
That's right.
But
Somebody else.
a few people are here. Okay. Okay, good. So again, same thing. The only difference here, so you put a title, you write what you want to write. The only difference is in this case, you need to put it into a structure of the website. This is like if it's a career, if it's a project, then you put in the project, all the projects, and that is all you need to do. You can set a featured image if you like, publish. Okay? That's the article. I think this is sufficient. Anything more, I'd be happy to walk you through it based on what you want to do. Okay? So I'll open it up to questions now. Has anyone used it? We obviously have some social media that needs some attention. Okay? Has anyone been on this website? Has anyone used it? Have you had an experience? If not, if it's the first time you're seeing it, what are your thoughts? Let's have a conversation, right? So I'm going to stop sharing and we can just talk about it. If you have any questions, let me know.